Most of these passes were created by natural occurring tectonic processes over millions of years, and thanks to local game and the indigenous Khoisan people of South Africa, mankind has managed to carve out a road through them. Today they are home to the marvels of modern civil engineering, and because of their treacherous nature, some ghost stories as well. Hello everyone, welcome to Hauntings and History, the show where we discuss hauntings and the histories behind them. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Seweweekspoort, Ladysmith. The R323 or Smuggler's Route, as it's also known, provides a shortcut for travelers wanting to go from Ladysmith or Calitzdorp to Laingsburg or Sutherland, and is arguably the most beautiful 18-kilometer stretch of road anywhere in South Africa. Seweweekspoort is one of many mountain passes crisscrossing the Swartruggens. Falling entirely under the control of the Cape Nature Conservation, it will have first-time travelers wondering how is it possible that a road like this exists through the massive jumble of contorted rock formations. Construction on this road began in the 1850s by use of prison labor, and it was finished in 1862. It was used by early travelers to get into the Great Karoo. The origin of the name Seweweekspoort or Smuggler's Route is still in debate to this day. Rumors vary, but some very interesting ones include that it was used by brandy smugglers that would take 7 weeks to make it to Beaufort West from Ladysmith, and would use this route to avoid taxes. Another rumor has it that cattle rustlers once hid in the pass for 7 weeks before finally being caught. One myth even states that 7 weeks was the time it took for a troop to escort a gang of highway robbers that has been banished from Barrydale. Whatever the origin of the name is, the fact is that this pass was once notorious for housing smugglers, vagabonds, and bandits. There's also a very popular ghost story surrounding this pass. The north end of this pass once held a toll gate where travelers needed to pay the toll keeper. Today this toll gate is long gone, but I guess nobody notified the toll keeper. Legend has it that if you drive along this road at night, the toll keeper would try to flag you down by anxiously running to the middle of the road and waving his lantern. The moment you slow down or stop, he will fade away into the darkness. Michell'sPass, scariest. Connecting Ceres to Tulbagh, Worcester and the Breede Rivier Valley is the R46, or Michell'sPass as it's more commonly known. Arguably, without the Michell'sPass, the existence of Ceres would be uncertain, since the first land sold in Ceres area was sold right after the completion of the pass. Prior to the construction of the Michell'sPass, settlers could get to the Ceres Valley by means of the Mosterzoek Pass that was built and funded by Jan Mostert of the Wolvekloof farm in 1765. This was the first semi-official wagon road into the Ceres Valley. Jan Mostert was a distant descendant of Wouter Mostert, who accompanied Adrian Gabema's exploration of Franschhoek and the Drakensberg Mountains in 1657. Land along the Breede Rivier Valley was given to the free burghers, and that was most likely how Wouter Mostert obtained the Wolvekloof farm. It was later to be inherited by Jan Mostert. But the problem with the Mosterzoek Pass was that it was so steep at some areas that wagons had to be dismantled and carried along with cargo on oxback. This prompted the father of civil engineering in South Africa, Charles Michell, to find a new, better road in 1830. It was ultimately built by Andrew Bain from 1848 to 1849. In 1910, a railway line would be added, which would be completed 2 years later in 1912. As in the case of the Smuggler's Route, this pass too winds its way through beautiful scenery and incredible rock formations. And for the lucky winter travelers, even snow. In addition to stunning views, this pass is also home to the rare Protea canary, bar-throated apelles and Seweweekspoort, making it the ideal spot for bird enthusiasts. Shaded amongst giant oak trees on the side of the road a few kilometers from Ceres is a tiny thatched roof 2-bedroom cottage that was completed the same time as the pass was completed in 1848. This was where the tollkeeper would stay and collect his tolls from the travelers. Despite suffering an earthquake in 1969, this national monument still stands today. In the 1990s, Mrs. Lynette Bosman took over the operations of the toll house and opened a tea room and craft shop. Mrs. Bosman would recall how wonderful the daytime hours were at the little tea house, but as soon as night fell, everything would become dreary and eerie. In 2009, journalists Reint and Karen Grobler opened the Tollhouse Bistro that was situated at the back of the old tollhouse. A bistro, naturally operating longer hours than a tea room, started encountering some apparitions. One was of a young Victorian lady roaming the property. The bistro staff lovingly gave her the name Nellie. Swartruggens Pass, Oudtshoorn. The R328 or Swartruggens Pass was Thomas Bain's final and arguably best piece of road construction. Thomas Bain was one of Andrew Bain's sons, so in this case the apple didn't fall too far from the tree. At 24 kilometers long, the Swartruggens Pass is seen as the ultimate gravel road pass for many travelers. With breathtaking scenery to quaint pit stops along the way, it is absolutely a treat for any tourist to drive through, given that they're not afraid of heights however. Designed by Thomas Bain and built by 240 convicts from 1883 to 1886 and opening in 1888, the aim of this pass was to provide a shorter alternative route from Oudtshoorn to Prince Albert. Previously, the only route through this area was a footpath that could only be negotiated by foot or horseback because of the steep gradients. Heavy machinery was limited or not available in those days, so the convicts made use of pickaxes, spades, sledgehammers, crowbars, wheelbarrows, and for the most stubborn of boulders, gunpowder. With all that manual labor, it is no wonder that 1 ox and 16 sheep were slaughtered daily to feed the construction crew. And in addition to all that meat, they also served up fresh baked bread, beans and soup. According to my calculations, 1 ox and 16 sheep is enough to feed 3,020 people per day. So either the resources are wrong or those convicts were fed like royalty. If you would like to see the pass today, you don't need a specialized 4x4 vehicle. Many tourists even tackle this pass on mountain bikes. And with 4x4 and mountain bike routes available through a simple booking with Cape Nature, it really is something worth doing. Maybe you will even be lucky enough to come across the ghost of a young police officer that accidentally shot himself during the construction of the road in 1885. Legend has it that in 1949, a young man named Hansie treated his bride-to-be and in-laws to a scenic drive through the Swartruggens Pass. As the sun set over the mountains, their car broke down, but luckily Hansie remembered spotting someone standing near Oudtshoorn between Nevillesedraai and Fonteinkie not too long ago. Hansie was delighted when he ran in the direction of the old toll house and saw the man still standing there. But his joy quickly turned into bewilderment as the man just vanished right in front of his eyes as he approached him. He inspected the toll house only to find that it looks like it had been abandoned for years. While Hansie was busy scratching his head at Oudtshoorn, Hetty and her parents, deciding not to wait in the dark, also decided to hike back down the pass. They came across a friendly young man next to the road who offered to escort them down, only to vanish by the time that they reached Fonteinkie. Was this apparition that Hansie and Hetty encountered the ghost of the police officer? That's all the stories I have for you today. If you have enjoyed them, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have any personal encounters, please feel free to share your stories in the comment section. Until next time, see you!